seen anything like this. I've never seen anybody whip up such hate. I've never seen anybody be so dismissive.
He was wild. I thought I was wild. He would come on. He would start assigning numbers to women.
A headline, babe, at your casino, which I might have continued to play had you not run it into the ground.
Foul. She was so filthy dirty, disgusting.
As it turns out, I was filthy. I was filthy.
The strangest thing about being in Trump's presence, the unexpected and rather peculiar smell that seems to follow him, something his inner circle has been oddly quiet about.
How dumb are you? You hired me 4 times. You can go to William Morris and get the things, because I know you all are going to.
Those who've experienced it firsthand recommend wearing face protection if possible. Picture someone doing a tap dance routine, then imagine trying to focus on legislative discussions about affordable childcare while that's happening. Former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger recently made headlines by describing this unusual aroma as a distinctive blend. Sweaty armpits mixed with ketchup, makeup, and yes, a hint of something rather unpleasant. While this might sound like a comedy writer's invention, it's actually Kinzinger's genuine observation. But beyond the amusing description lies a more significant narrative about shifting loyalties, personal betrayals, and increasingly unpredictable behavior from the former commander-in-chief. It's truly remarkable, Kinzinger reflected, if you'd suggested to me a year or 2 ago that our party would end up here. Well, it actually makes sense now, considering how far off course we've gone. The transformation in his perspective became even more apparent when asked about speaking at the Democratic National Convention.
And stand on that fact. March, you hired me 4 times and you didn't know what you were getting? How dumb are you?
An event where he found unexpected acceptance. Before delving deeper into Trump's latest controversies, I'd like to make a quick request. If you're finding value in this content, consider hitting the like button and joining our subscriber community. It's fascinating. While over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing, taking that small step makes an enormous impact on our ability to continue producing content.
Dropped him like a dog. I did a walk-on for Whoopi Goldberg. Now she says, I refuse to mention his name. You know what? Politics can do strange things.
Anything like this. I've never seen anybody whip up such hate. I've never seen anybody be so dismissive.
Kinzinger emphasized a crucial point about presidential legacy. Throughout our nation's history, every president has maintained at least a basic commitment to truthfulness. Most entered office thinking, I want to leave this country stronger than I found it. Trump's approach has been fundamentally different. It's all about personal gain and ego gratification. He's masterful at portraying himself as righteous while simultaneously playing the victim card. Thanks for subscribing. Now, let's return to our main story. Adam Kinzinger's political evolution, from passionate Trump supporter to vocal critic.
He was wild. I thought I was wild. He would come on. He would start assigning numbers to women.
I'll tell you what I have.
Okay.
I have a lot of, I'm tired of people starting a conversation with Mexicans or liars and
has created significant upheaval within Republican circles. Initially viewed as one of the party's promising newcomers, Kinzinger backed Trump's 2016 campaign. However, his support gradually eroded as Trump's presidency progressed. The January 6th Capitol riot proved to be Kinzinger's breaking point. He described the experience as suddenly realizing he'd wandered into the wrong movie and needed to switch roles immediately. This wasn't just a minor adjustment in his political stance. It represented a fundamental transformation that would reshape his entire career trajectory.
Because together with Donald Trump, we are going to make America not just great, but greater than it has ever been before.
His subsequent vote to impeach Trump sent shockwaves through the Republican establishment. This bold move symbolized both his declaration of independence from Trump's influence and his commitment to forging a new path. However, standing up to Trump came at a significant personal cost. As Kinzinger noted, challenging a cult leader is almost like attacking someone's religious beliefs. That's how deeply this runs.
a headline, babe, at your casino, which I might have continued to play had you not run it into the ground.
Good evening to you, Nora. Every staffing announcement provides further confirmation that Trump rewards those who are devoted to him and passionate.
The foundation of their worldview rests on a singular belief: Donald Trump is America's savior. The intensity of their reactions caught me off guard, though perhaps it shouldn't have. When asked about the fierce hostility directed his way, Kinzinger remained unsurprised, explaining, "This is his standard playbook. He's constructed something beyond mere political support. It's evolved into a genuine personality cult. The consequences of opposing Trump materialized swiftly and brutally. Many who once stood beside him found themselves labeled as traitors."
Attractive woman he ever met and how much he was calling me all through the campaign. I don't mean on the air, off the air.
For advice?
I think
even blood ties offered no protection from the fallout. In a heart-wrenching development, Kinzinger received correspondence from his own family members, accusing him of enlisting in satanic forces. This painful episode illustrates how Trump's influence has fractured not just political alliances, but the very fabric of family relationships. Undeterred by mounting pressure and threats, Kinzinger doubled down on his position. His decision to join the January 6th investigative committee cemented his role as a prominent Republican voice against Trump. While this stance earned respect from those who prioritize ethical conviction over party allegiance.
You don't watch the show, so you don't know that I don't suffer from that. What I suffer from is the inability to figure out how to fix that.
It simultaneously alienated a substantial portion of his political base. Kinzinger's personal journey, however, represents just one thread in a larger tapestry of Republican Party turmoil.
Appointing ultra-loyal, true believers in his cause who will do exactly what he wants in government.
A growing faction within the party has begun questioning Trump's leadership. Kinzinger's characterization of Trump as a weak man masquerading as strong resonates with this sentiment, while also highlighting the risks of dissent in a party where loyalty to Trump has become the primary measure of political worth. As time progresses, the impact of Kinzinger's stance becomes increasingly apparent. His transformation from Republican rising star to vocal Trump critic.
Foul. She was so filthy dirty, disgusting.
As it turns out, I was filthy. I was filthy. And I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you?
Might signal a potential shift in the party's direction. The Republican Party now grapples with fundamental questions about its values and future trajectory. Will Trump maintain his central role, or will others follow Kinzinger's lead, despite the consequences? The answer's impact on American political landscape remains uncertain. Meanwhile, an unexpected political voice emerged from the entertainment world. Jimmy Kimmel's evolution from lighthearted comedy host to serious political commentator marks an intriguing development in American public discourse.
And, thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world.
During Trump's initial political ascent, Kimmel's approach centered on superficial jokes, targeting Trump's oversized ego, distinctive hairstyle, and artificial tan. Audiences embraced this content as harmless entertainment, seeking simple laughs rather than substantive commentary. However, as Trump's presidency progressed, Kimmel's approach underwent a significant transformation.
We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond. This is a time for big dreams and bold action.
The evolution of Kimmel's political commentary extended far beyond surface-level humor about Trump's decisions and policies. His deep dives into complex political topics captured his audience's attention in unexpected ways. The same viewers who once tuned in for his lighthearted jokes found themselves applauding his increasingly incisive political analysis.
I will do away with red traffic lights, only green from now on. Keep it moving. America's momentum is back. Our spirit is back, and measles are back. We love our measles, don't we? Little spots. Pink, pink, pink. So cool. So itchy. I've had them on my balls. Big, big. I also signed an executive order.
This shift seemed to reflect a growing public appetite for more substantive late-night discussions. Rather than staying in safe comedic territory, Kimmel fearlessly tackled controversial subjects. His unexpectedly comprehensive understanding became evident as he engaged with complex issues like healthcare reform and immigration policy. Through his thoughtful coverage of these challenging topics, Kimmel transformed his public persona from comedic entertainer to respected political commentator.
To ban women from having their periods. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. Melania says it's that time of the month, all month. She's fantastic. So much menstruation, Melania. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America. Clap, buttheads.
That's right.
The influence of Kimmel's commentary on shaping public understanding became increasingly clear. His talent for making complicated political concepts accessible helped viewers better grasp important civic discussions. Moving beyond mere entertainment, Kimmel initiated broader conversations about civic engagement and political accountability. Trump's reactions to this emerging form of criticism were predictably defensive. His responses often took the form of immature personal attacks, dismissing Kimmel and his late-night colleagues as losers and lightweights. These emotional outbursts ultimately served to underscore both the effectiveness of Kimmel's criticism and Trump's characteristic difficulty handling public scrutiny. Healthcare policy emerged as a recurring focus in Kimmel's most impactful segments. In one particularly memorable broadcast, he delivered a scathing critique of Trump's healthcare proposals, highlighting the administration's failure to develop even basic policy solutions. This new phase of Kimmel's career became defined by his commitment to fact-checking and holding political figures accountable for their statements and actions. When Kimmel openly acknowledged his bias against Trump, stating, "I am biased against Donald Trump," he demonstrated a refreshing transparency about his political perspective. This admission naturally raises the question.
Then we have the Jeffrey Epstein list, which Trump kinda, sorta promised to release. Attorney General Pam Bondi yesterday made a big announcement. She announced the list of Epstein clients and his flight logs would be released today at noon. Guess what? They weren't released today at noon. Instead, they released binders full of information everyone already had. Everything these people do is screwed up. Last night, Twitter listed this. This was listed at the top of the Twitter homepage. Epstein files to unveil names on February 29th. It's not just enough time for Trump to ban all future leap years. We're going to release the list on March 36th. So not only didn't what they released contain any new information, instead of the real news media, instead of journalists, they released these binders to a small group of obscure right-wing influencers. One of them is some former Miss Universe judge. Another one is a former host from One America News who was not happy with what she got.
I share your frustration. You should have seen how pissed Attorney General Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel were in this meeting when they were explaining to us what happened. The story here.
And such acknowledged prejudice be considered justified based on observed behavior and actions. The audience responded positively to Kimmel's transparency about his viewpoint, finding his critiques more compelling precisely because he openly acknowledged his perspective. As his influence on political discourse expanded, traditional boundaries between serious political analysis and entertainment began to dissolve. Viewers increasingly looked to late-night programming not just for comedic relief, but for thoughtful analysis, deeper insights, and a sense of civic responsibility. Kimmel's transformation from entertainment figure to political commentator represents a broader shift in how entertainment personalities shape political discourse and how the American public consumes political information. In the wake of both Kinzinger and Kimmel's pointed criticisms, Trump's carefully constructed image has suffered significant damage.
Is incredibly important. That not only is the Trump administration trying to give you transparency, but that the deep state agents are trying to hide it.
That's right. The deep state agents are trying to hide it. Well, first, the deep state agents need to go through the documents to make sure they dot every I and cross out every DJT, and then they can release the documents. You know, the fact that these Looney Tunes keep conveniently forgetting that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were good friends is unbelievable. New York Magazine did a profile of Jeffrey Epstein back in 2002. This is the quote from Donald Trump. "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy."
Their observations have revealed vulnerabilities in his previously solid facade that even devoted supporters find difficult to dismiss. Yet this evolution extends beyond Trump's changing public perception. It signals a fundamental transformation in how Americans engage with political discourse. The traditional boundaries between serious political discussion and entertainment have become increasingly permeable. While politicians craft their messages through witty social media posts and memorable sound bites, late-night comedians have emerged as trusted sources of news analysis and commentary. This new landscape presents voters with an unprecedented challenge, determining how to evaluate and weigh different sources of political political information.
He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. And they're running around with binders. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had a party at Mar-a-Lago. They called it a calendar girl competition. They flew in 28 women. The only men at the party were him and Jeffrey Epstein. It was him, Jeffrey Epstein, and 28 very disappointed calendar girls. I hope that's in the binder when it comes out.
They must grapple with questions like whether a politician's viral tweet carries more significance than their policy proposals, or when humorous commentary should be considered serious political discourse. As we navigate this evolving terrain of political engagement, one thing becomes increasingly clear: traditional frameworks no longer suffice. The influence wielded by public figures like Kinzinger and Kimmel in shaping public opinion cannot be overlooked. Their ability to cut through political rhetoric and present unvarnished truth, often seasoned with humor, has fundamentally altered the nature of political dialogue. Whether one embraces or resists this change, it has become an integral feature of America's political landscape.